What's up, guys? It's Eric here, back again. And you may have been wondering where the videos have been for the last week and a half, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. So let's just get right into it. So here's an email I received on September 4th, 2024. And to give some context, if any of you guys saw the first video that I posted on this channel on, I believe it was August 27th or 28th. I played in Title Tuesday on August 27th, and I crushed Grandmaster Jose Ibarra in the first round. And after the game, I checked his stream, and he blocked me and reported me. And he went on to say that he was 100% sure that I cheated in the game against him. And I received messages from his fans to my chess.com account and also on YouTube saying that I was a cheater, and they were saying quite nasty things to me. But, I knew I didn't cheat, so I kind of just took it all as a joke. And I was very proud of the game I played, and I was kind of happy that I got accused of cheating. But turns out, around a week later, I received this email and my account got closed for fair play violations. So obviously, I was extremely distraught and confused and just feeling a lot of emotions about this. So obviously, I appealed the account closure. And one thing I'd like to point out, which is very just strange for chess.com to do, is they don't give any information as to why my account was closed for a fair play violation. And I understand in certain situations they don't want to tell someone what was suspicious about their account that caused them to get banned, because I understand that this can be used as information for cheaters to use in the future. So like, let's say that someone is a cheater and they get banned, and chess.com says these moves were made in this amount of time and they were played like this accurately, and we checked with this and we confirmed you were cheating. I understand they can't be giving this kind of information because that'll help cheaters in the future, but even something as simple as sandbagging or cheating or any kind of information, because when someone gets falsely banned, as I did, I think that it's very helpful to know what I'm supposed to be defending when I make an appeal. So when I wrote my appeal, by the way, in the appeal form, they basically say provide any relevant information. So the reason I'm saying it's very dumb that they don't give me any kind of reason that I got banned is that when I give them relevant information, I'm pretty much just guessing as to what they want to hear. So I pretty much just summarized my entire chess career in an appeal, and I even cited some classical games I've played and some blitz games I played where I performed very strongly to show them that it's possible for me to play this game, because I was under the impression that my game against Ibarra was the reason I got banned, but turns out that that actually wasn't the case. So after my appeal, I had a pretty stressful week. I kind of didn't believe in chess.com or the fair play team, and I wasn't even sure if I would get unbanned because the fact that I got banned in the first place just seemed so ridiculous to me. But a week later, I received an email back from them saying that that they made a mistake in closing my account and that I have not violated fair play policy on chess.com. And they also say something funny here, which is so they say it's extremely rare that we disclose any details regarding why we close accounts, in large part because it undermines the very important work we do. In this instance, however, we'd like to give you some more clarity and are asking that you keep this information to yourself / not broadcast in public forums. So that to me is just very funny, because chess.com made a mistake. They admitted it in this email, and after they make their mistake, they're like, please don't tell anyone about this mistake. Like, we're so sorry. We're being so nice to you by telling you why you got banned. Please don't share and don't expose us for being a dysfunctional company. And I'm sorry, chess.com, if you're watching this, but I feel like it is my obligation to share this because you guys completely mistreated my case, and I should never have been banned in the first place. And the details that they provided to me as to why my account was banned was they say, we looked into games from your account from 2020. We looked into games on your account from 2023 and identified fair play violations in rapid games in April of that year, a period which you claimed your account was hacked. We were able to verify your claims, and that's why we're here now. So let me take it back for a second and explain what they're talking about when they say it's a period which I claim my account was hacked. So I'm going to pull up my game history from the early 2023. So here is my game history, and as you can see, February 5th, 2023, these were 2 rapid games which I played. And then starting on April 9th, there's a long streak of games played, and none of these were me. So I rarely use chess.com. At this time, after February 5th, I probably hadn't signed into my account in months, 2 months. And these games played on April 9th through April 11th, I was not aware of them at all until I received an email a couple days later saying that my account was banned for sandbagging. So when I got that email, that was the first time that I was aware that my account got hacked. And yeah, so let's just look real quick. They played some bullet games. They played a bunch of rapid games, and they won a ton of games. And a lot of these games that they won, their opponents' accounts were closed for fair play. So, I mean, maybe I can suspect that they're like boosting these other accounts' ratings or something like that. Not totally sure, but the reason that my account got banned was for these 4 games right here, which lasted 5, 7, 4, 7 moves. And this is why I got banned for sandbagging. But after I got that notification, I responded to chess.com telling them that these games weren't played by me, that they were played by a hacker, and we had the whole situation resolved. And I didn't really think much of it. I got my account back. I even got my rating set back to what it was before, and all was fine. And now, fast forward to 2024, I just got the NM title in August of 2024, and I was playing my first title Tuesday. And yeah, so here you can see August 27th. This is the title Tuesday that I played, where I beat Ibarra. And only a week after I played this game, I got my account banned for fair play. And they, I think it's very clear that when I got reported by Ibarra and his fans, it had, I mean, they probably did look at these games and conclude that I wasn't cheating. So then they looked back as far as they could on my account, trying to find something to ban me for, I guess. I mean, I guess, okay, fine. I understand they can look at the entire account. It's justified to look at my entire account game history, because if I had cheated at any point, I do deserve to get banned, of course. But this entire situation could have been avoided if they had simply looked at either the email communications which I had with them, or they could, if they somehow kept track of the reason I got banned before. Like I said, I already have been banned previous to this most recent one for the cheater's actions on my account. So I feel like that's something that they should have on record somewhere. And at the minimum, they could have checked, like I said, checked the email history that I had with them and realized that I was already banned for the same games that they're trying to ban me for again, and that it wasn't even me playing the games. So I don't know. I think it's very unprofessional behavior from chess.com. And it's also pretty ridiculous that they don't provide a reason, even like any kind of reason for the ban. So I was just left there for a week waiting for my appeal, very stressed. And yeah, so that's pretty much all of the context. I'm very disappointed in chess.com and the fair play team. I definitely think that I am obligated to share my story, and I'm sorry for anyone who may have to deal with this in the future. And I hope that this situation that chess.com somehow, I doubt, but I hope that they somehow look at this and change their methods for the better in the future so that no one else gets falsely banned the way that I did. And the fact that this happened just a week after my Title Tuesday game, you can see why it adds a lot more stress to me, because it made me think that they thought the games I played in that Title Tuesday were suspicious and that I cheated. The timing of it is just very annoying, and like these games I played that were played on my account, I didn't play them. A year and a half plus, just I don't know. It's a very stupid situation, and I also want to say to Grandmaster Ibarra, I doubt he's watching this, but I believe that the behavior that he exhibited during this situation, the fact that he lost to a weaker player, me, and he got crushed actually, and his first reaction was that I must be cheating, and he even said that he was 100% sure that I cheated. He says that he normally doesn't call anyone a cheater, but he was so sure that I cheated that he must say it. Uh, it's just so embarrassing for someone of his chess strength, and also for someone that has a community as large as his. I think he has almost 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I was able to feel the impact of his community because I received messages from them. I think that someone like him needs to be held to a high standard, and that just accusing weaker opponents of cheating based off of one strong game that they played, I don't think that they realize the impact that this can have. Yes, my first reaction to it was I was entertained, and I honestly wasn't at first offended by it. However, I think that the action in general of accusing people of cheating with not, I was going to say very little proof, but he had zero proof that I cheated. I think it's just contributing to a toxic aspect of the chess community, which is falsely accusing weak players of cheating as a grandmaster. I think that this kind of behavior should be extremely prohibited, and it's actually against the rules on chess.com's community policy. And I even responded to chess.com after getting unbanned, asking if Ibarra was reprimanded or warned, and they simply gave me a generic response saying that yes, it is against our rules, and generally we give warnings when these rules are broken. And like honestly, I don't think that they did any of that, and I don't think that Ibarra is going to face any kind of consequences for what he did. But anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Chess.com is dysfunctional. The fair play team is, I mean, maybe in other cases, I'm sure like 99% of their cases are probably just very obvious cheaters getting easily caught. So they probably aren't used to actually, doing anything that requires work or any kind of diligence. So maybe that's why they messed up in my case. But either way, I am very disappointed with just how they handled this whole situation and how Ibarra handled it as well. So because this is a chess channel, not a drama channel, I want to show you guys a game I played, which actually highlights this is a classical game where I played at 99% accuracy, even higher than the 95% accuracy which I played against Ibarra. So let's take a look. So this game was played in 2019 at the Chicago Open. At the time of this game, I was rated 1925 and my opponent was rated 2021. And let's get into it. So I play e4, he plays the Sicilian, we get some normal moves, and he plays e6. And this is another reason why this game is so important to me, because this position right here, after knight c3 also, is a position I've had as white and black many, many times, and it's one of my favorite openings because there's just so many ways that both sides can deviate, and it just produces a lot of interesting type of positions in my opinion. So he chooses to go queen c7. I play bishop e3, he goes a6. I play bishop e2. Bishop e2 is a move that I like to play a lot. It's just a square that I feel like is comfortable for me to develop my bishop. He plays knight f6, I castle, and he goes bishop b4. And here the main move is to play knight a4, but I wasn't aware of the theory here, so I just took on c6. And he takes with the queen, which is a little bit strange because Normally you want to take with the b pawn after your opponent takes on c6, because it's a really common idea when you play e6 in the Sicilian, to play d5 eventually. So taking with the b pawn would support that idea. And also the queen on c7 is generally better than on c6. And I immediately took advantage of this by playing bishop f3. And he chooses to take on c3, which is a pretty committal decision because this dark square bishop is very important to black's position when you play this type of opening. Because when you have all your pawns on light squares, the bishop on the dark square, the dark square bishop is much more important. As you can see, the bishop on c8 has literally no legal moves because it's blocked by all the pawns. So the dark square bishop is much more key in defending. So when he gives up the bishop for the knight, I'm immediately suspicious that the dark squares can become weak, and you're going to see how I took advantage of that. So here, black is still fine if he plays something like e5, or I think castling is probably fine too, but he instead takes on c3, which is a huge mistake, and now I pounce on the initiative by playing queen d6. And my threat is to play bishop c5, threatening mate, which is very hard to meet, so black plays queen c6, which makes sense. And now another idea of queen d6 is now I can relocate the queen to g3, putting pressure on g7, which is very hard to defend. So if he plays something like castles, which looks very natural, bishop h6 is probably okay, but if you'll notice, with the bishop lined up on the queen like this, one of white's threats is to play e5, and in this position it's very strong because after e5, let's say the knight moves to d5, now bishop h6 is, you can't meet it with knight e8, so you'll have to play g6 in order to stop mate. And worst case scenario, I can just take on f8, be up in exchange. Black has still no development, and white is just totally winning there. But I could also probably play like any other move. Like queen h4 is probably good, threatening to take and play queen f6, and I can just abuse the dark squares to the max. So this e5 idea is very important in the position, and you're going to see actually in the game that I made use of that idea. So he decided to go king f8, which is a move, not much to say, and I go e5. Like I was just explaining, I'm attacking the queen, attacking the knight, and he's forced to play either knight e4 or knight d5, so he chooses knight d5. And here, my idea is I wanted to play c4, attacking the pinned piece, but c4 hangs a pawn, which, by the way, it's still very good for white to do that and just sacrifice the pawn and play rook c1, but I wanted to prepare c4, and I did it in the most forcing possible way, which is queen h4, threatening checkmate in 1, so you have to deal with the checkmate in 1, and he does so by playing king e8, which is kind of funny, playing king f8 and king e8, and after my opponent played king f8, king e8, I knew before, but at this point I was sure I was winning, and you just can't really play chess like this. So I go c4, all according to plan, and he plays queen a4, which is a tricky move, preventing c takes d5 because of the pin, so I'd lose a queen if I take. But my idea wasn't actually just to win the knight, it was to abuse these dark squares. So if this knight weren't here, I would be able to play either bishop b6 or bishop c5, threatening mates on either e7 or d8. So even though I'm not winning the knight for free, I just play bishop takes d5. And after he takes back, which is a blunder, if that move's a blunder, then you know black's position is dead lost. And then I continue with my plan and play bishop b6, threatening mate in 1. And if you came to the board for the first time here, you'd probably be like, oh, black can just castle, and it's not great. Black's development's slow, but it's probably fine. But castling is not legal because if you remember, black played king f8 to e8, so he lost his castling rights. And this mate is very hard to stop. And yeah, it's pretty much just over at this point. He plays f6. You gotta play some move. I take, obviously, preparing to play rook e1 next. He plays king f7. I play rook e1. He plays g6, and I play rook e7. And my opponent resigns here because after king g8, I can just play queen h6 and mate next move. So yeah, the position is hopeless. Anyways, that is the game I played at 99% accuracy. Probably my immortal game, I guess, but obviously my rating is much higher than this now, and I, at the time, yes, he was 100 points higher than me, but he made a lot of mistakes. So, I was only able to play such an accurate and quick tactical game because of these mistakes. But either way, still a very pretty game. Definitely my highest accuracy ever. And yeah, so that's going to do it for today's video. I appreciate all the support on the first two videos of the channel. And now that I'm unbanned and not feeling any really stress regarding that whole situation, I definitely plan to make more videos. So if you're not subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.